Hey guys, so this week we're going to be talking about single stroke rolls. I've got a few exercises for you that displace accents within the single stroke roll that sound really cool, and also we're going to be talking about how you can apply it to a groove, and that sounds really cool as well. So let's go. So first of all, if you don't know what a single stroke roll is, it's just right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, or if you're left-handed, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I'll show that to you now. That's it. That's all the notes in our bar. We've got 16th notes, so we're playing 16 notes per the bar. So 4 groups of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first exercise is just displacing the accents throughout the bar. So the first bar we're going to play is putting accents on the 1, the 2, the 3 and the 4. Remember, 16th notes, we're counting 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. That's how our hands are playing it. So here you go, I'll play it for you now. As you're going to hear, 1E and a, 2E and a, 3E and a, 4E and a. Second bar, we're putting it on the 1E. So the E of each, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E. So that's the 1E and the 2E. Then the next one, as you probably guessed, we're moving through the bar, is on the and. So 1E and 2E and 3E and. Don't know if you've ever watched the first video I did it with paradiddles, basically the same thing, just moving through the bar. Obviously paradiddles may be a little bit trickier, but this is the same really good exercise. And lastly, we've got accents on the so 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and then the goal is maybe put them all together like one after each other, so I'll just play that for you now. Back round to the 1. Start really slow with that. My click was on 80 when I was just showing you some of the examples. You start there, but if your single strokes aren't right, like up to that speed yet, it's perfectly fine. Turn the click way down. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, so that putting into like a feel context, it just makes. If you've got those and you can use those and you're perfectly happy doing it on the snare drum, you can then start to move it about a bit and mix them up. You don't we're not just going to play in like a fill scenario, just accenting that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We can mix them up and make different ones, and when you're comfortable with it, it'll just come naturally. So something like. So as you can see there, I was just, that exercise, that was everything we did in that exercise. I was just moving the accents around. Maybe I did a bar of all accented, or four notes, 1 E and of all accented, then I went 1, 2, 3 E and 4 and it just makes them sound more interesting than just the normal rock feel, obviously around the kit. Just putting accents in makes it sound even cooler. Like building and tempo, and it makes it feel like it's breathing more and just moving more, which is really cool. So next exercise is still the same sort of principle. It's a little bit trickier, this one, but it follows the same thing. We're just moving accents around again, and we're just trying to get more out of a rudiment, because it is a rudiment at the end of the day, single stroke roll, and when you learn a new rudiment, the best way to learn it is, once you've learnt the basic of it, look deeper. Try and find what else there is about that rudiment that you can do. Displacing accents is a great one. Obviously some rudiments are a lot harder to do, displace accents than others, because you've got fast doubles happening, but at like its base values, it's all the same. Displacing rudiments, changing time, it's all the same. So this one is another singles exercise. You can take this one a lot further by adding in feet, which we might do. I might show you that in a second. But the basic principle of it is we accent the 1, then the 2, then the 3, then the 4, then the 5, and the 6. So it's like each exercise are 16th notes. So 4 lots of 4. In the 1, exercise 1 we're going to call it, is you're accenting every other one, so it will just be accents on every single one. Ba, 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 ba. In the 2, we're accenting every other 2, so it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2. So it's every second note, and you'll see this in the example that I put across the top or somewhere on screen. You'll see it and you'll understand it. It was like accent on every 2, so 1, 2, 2, and it is the same. We're counting 1 E and a 2 E and a, but think of this one more as in numbers. So it's every 2, and then 3. Obviously, it's every third note we're accenting. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a. So like that. Some of these get a lot harder because we're not just putting the same note on each one. So it's not ba 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 ba, because it's a 3 and it's like an odd number. It's going to go on different hands each time. Same with the 5s, 4s, 2s, 1s, same as basically what we did before. 6s as well, similar one, it'll just land on the right hand. 7s, that's trickier again because it'll land on different hands. And 8, same as before, it's quite simple because it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, it's on every 8th note. I'll just show you these quickly. So we've got our 1, so we're accent every other 1. Simple enough. 2s, every other 2, yeah. 3s, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4s, so that's the same as exercise, the first one we did. 5s, 5's a little bit trickier because we've got to count. It's a little bit harder playing in 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. And we're alternating hands. It's just where it lands in the bar. But if you look on screen, it should be there just so you can see it. 6s. Every 6th note. 7s. 7s every 7th note, and 8s. Simple enough. This is probably a little bit more advanced than the other exercise just because you can delve in a lot deeper and it gets a lot harder because we're alternating hands and you're playing over. So if you do like a fill, you would use this. It sounds like you're playing. If you're in 4/4, you can still play 5s and it just sounds interesting because obviously the downbeat's usually on the 2 and 4, but when you're playing something like a 5 over a 4, it's just going to make it sound way more interesting. And this stuff gets really, really hard. So I'll show you one of these because I just realised you can't really hear my hi-hat. I'm going to use the bass drums instead. I won't use a hi-hat chick, but either one is fine. So still single stroke rolls, accent in the 3, but because now we've got a pulse on our 1, 2, 3 and 4, you can really hear how displacing the accents is going to sound really, really cool. And there's so much stuff with this, like the exercises can go on forever and ever, and you can literally do whatever you want. So 7s is a really hard one. You then start to put in bass drums on the accents, but you're keeping time on the 1, 2 and 3, 4 with this. That's really hard, but that adds something really, really cool. And then, like with all the other ones, you can go through doubles, paradiddles, anything you want with these sorts of exercises. So yeah, definitely check all that stuff out. And I'll just play one more example for you just so you totally get it. So this is the 5s, so we've got accents on the 5s and I'm putting the kick drums on the 1, 2, 3. So that's it, accents on every 5th one, and then you can see how this is going to start, just increase the speed, it's just going to start sounding so weird, and your brain's gonna be telling you to do one thing and your hands are wanting to do another thing. But yeah, great exercises. I'll just show you the threes a little bit speeded up, just so you can start to hear, and it's sort of like a clave, like bat, bat, bat. You can hear it happening over, and that's what accents do. They draw your attention to what you think is important or what you're trying to make a point of. So yeah, that's basically the exercise that we're going to go up to now. Like I said, you can delve way further into all this stuff, but for now I think that's enough to be cracking on with. And like I said, you can draw it out yourself if you do want to go further with it. Also, a good book to get is Drum Set Concepts and Creativity. Great little book. It does all these concepts and it's really easy to follow. So if you wanted to get a book like that, that's totally fine as well. So another cool idea is to just use single stroke rolls, but in a groove sense. So we're going to split the hands up. We've got our normal, we're going to use our normal like rock groove that everyone should know. But we're going to be playing 16th notes on our hands, just like the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the, so we're playing up there, but then we're going to split our hands this way. I have my right hand on my hi-hat, left hand down here, and we're just going to play single stroke rolls between the two. So that's not much of a groove right now, so we're going to add in our bass drums on the 1 and the 3 just to like start to build this groove and start to make it sound nice. So now we've got the bass drums in on the 1 and the 3, 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the, that's how we're counting it. We can put our snare drum on the 2 and the 4 where it usually comes, and that's going to involve bringing this hand down because it's going to land on a right hand, so we're just going to have to bring this hand across down to the snare drum. So that's our groove, single stroke rolls between the hands and the groove. But to make this groove really work, we're going to have to add some extra stuff in. We're going to have to add ghost notes in. I think I've talked about ghost notes before, but ghost notes are just really quiet notes. And that's all your snare drum left hand notes if you're right-handed. They've all got to be quiet. And your right hand can be a little bit louder because it's playing that backbeat on the hi-hat and it's also playing that snare hit on the backbeat on the 2 and the 4. So it can be louder and it's better to sound that way. So instead of playing it like making everything loud, it doesn't sound as nice, we can start to ghost these. They might not, you might not pick them up, but if you see my left hand, I'm doing really small touches here, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. That's what's going to make the groove sound better and more professional. And then after that, we can start adding in more bass drums, which sound really cool as well. And that's it, that's how you make a groove out of single stroke rolls. It's a really cool concept because you're sort of faking how hard it is, because it sounds cooler than probably what, because we just know it's right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, but it sounds a lot cooler. And because you're playing single stroke rolls and you're moving the bass drums around, obviously do that yourself. You can write it out, put the bass drums wherever you want. You can put a bass drum, I like 4 on the floor. And because it's single stroke rolls, going into single stroke roll fills, like we come back to that accent idea at the beginning, makes everything so much easier because we're not changing what our hands do at all. It's just right, left, right, left, right, left, right. We're just changing the accents and we're changing how like the discipline of the dynamics of individual limbs is really important in drums in general. So if we can just change that, it makes everything sound 10 times better and more professional. And I'll just give you an example of that groove going into like that first accent exercise around the drums, just to show you what it sort of sounds like. That's it. That was all right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Sometimes subsidizing like a left with a bass drum instead, but the core concept of it is right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and it sounds really cool. It's groovy.